touch so delicate, delicately. The distance will give me energy, and I hope it does the same for you, for you.
You've been caught on the wrong side of love. You're not sure you can trust now. Take a risk, make it count. Fight your fears, don't be scared to open up now. Girl, you and I can't deny that it's fine. We deserve to be in love now. I understand you were damaged before, girl. It's put your guard down. And I promise, baby, I'm not him. I know we did you wrong, but I'll never break your heart again. And I promise, baby, that as long as we're together, it'll be alright. Baby, follow me, all we need is time. Girl, don't be afraid to let you feel.
야식 냉동 망고. 지금 강릉 브이로그 편집 중인데 너무 오래 걸려요. 아직 컷 편집하는 중입니다. 이것도 얼른 편집해서 차차 올려보도록 할게요.
Trust me, I already know you'll be okay if you let go. Safest thing that you can do is fall right now. Trust me, I would never let you hit the ground. Girl, don't be afraid to let your feelings show. Trust me, I already know you'll be okay if you let go. You'll be okay if you let go. You'll be okay if you let go. baby, can I get a feel now? Just a kiss, just a touch, just a hug, baby, I just wanna feel now. I understand you were damaged before, girl, it's time to put your guard down. And I promise, baby, I'm not him. I know he did you wrong, but I'll never break your heart again. And I promise, baby, that as long as we're together, it'll be alright. Baby, follow me, all we need is time. Girl, don't be afraid to let your feelings show. Trust me,
Sunlight passes, new dreams come. Twilight never looks so beautiful. One more time I've come around, and everything's okay. Moments pass, memories don't. Lost in what I gave myself. It seems that everything they touch becomes either dust or gold. So I sit there thinking I was a fool to try. If I ever even got a second, I could let it all go. Why did I never cry? Dark clouds come and go, but the sky always seems to stay there. It's kinda strange how people leave right before they are really there. So I sit there thinking I was a fool to try. If I ever even got a second, I could let it all go. Why did I never cry? I sensed nothing at all. Everything passed away. I didn't.
You feel it, you feel it again. You just hold me tight. My soul is fighting knowing that you leave tonight. 'Cause we just got out to trip and fall, but I won't give up and end it all. Fix my feelings, stay one more night. Hit me from the pain that you started inside, and fix my mind, give me more time. Hit me from the pain, 'cause you know me inside. It's a beautiful illusion. You're a beautiful illusion. Beautiful illusion.
The day that we met, I'll never forget. I knew from the moment she spoke that she was destined to be my favorite regret. And all through the years, the joy and the tears we shared as the greatest of friends. But she was destined to be my favorite regret. Well, each moment we spent, I've been almost content just to talk to her all through the night. But a part of me mourns what will never be born. Forever my favorite regret.
He's gentle and kind and totally blind to not see the life we could lead. And he is destined to be my favorite regret. In bad times and good, I've steadfastly stood. My passion just waits to be freed. But he is destined to be my favorite regret.
제주가 상관입니다. 버스 내에서 생활 생활이 서로 간의 대화를 가급적 자제하여 주시기 바랍니다.